Today, children, I will start with the explanation of Act 1, Scene 2. This scene is mainly related to Portia. So, before I start, I would like to tell you something about Portia. Portia is a rich lady who lives in Belmont. Her father had died and had left her a lot of wealth and property. She is a beautiful lady and has noble and gentle qualities. Now, before dying, Portia's father had devised a lottery system or casket system for her marriage. According to the lottery system, there were 3 caskets, one gold, one silver, and one lead casket. One of these caskets contained Portia's portrait, and the suitor who chooses that casket will marry Portia. Before choosing the casket, the suitors have to agree with 3 conditions also. The first condition was that if they choose the wrong casket, then they will not go out and tell anyone which casket they had chosen. The second condition was that if they choose the wrong casket, then they will never marry any other girl in their life. And the third condition was that if they choose the wrong casket, then without waiting, they will immediately leave Portia's house. Now, many suitors were coming from different directions and from different countries, and Portia was just fed up of all these suitors. She is worried and upset because she does not have the freedom to choose her own husband. And as she had promised her father, she will have to marry the person who chooses the right casket, whether she liked that person or not. And then, so here Nerissa consoles Portia and tells her that whatever her father had planned for her was for her good. So in this scene, Portia and Nerissa are having a conversation, and Nerissa names the suitors one by one, and Portia comments on or gives her opinion of these suitors. Now you can follow in your books while I am reading the lines and explaining. You can note down the important meanings and also the important points. Act 1, Scene 2, it is taking place in Belmont, a room in Portia's house. Enter Portia and Nerissa. Nerissa is Portia's maid, but as Portia confides everything, as she tells everything, whatever was in her heart, she shared everything with Nerissa. So Nerissa was more like a friend for Portia. So here they are having a conversation. Portia, by my troth, Nerissa, my little body is aweary of this great world. Now here Portia tells what is in her heart. By my troth means faith, that her little body is aweary. Aweary means tired of this great world. She was tired, she was fed up of this great world. In other words, she was fed up of all the suitors who are coming to choose the casket. Nerissa, you would be tired, sweet madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are. So Nerissa also agrees with Portia and says that you would be tired. She would be tired if her miseries means troubles, if her troubles were in the same abundance as your good fortunes. That is, if she had troubles as well as good fortunes in equal amount in her life, then she will be tired of the world. And yet, for aught I see, They are as sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing. And she here, Nerissa says that for aught I see, the meaning of aught is anything. So she says that if she thinks of anything, then she feels that those who surfeit, right, the meaning overfed, eat too much, those who eat too much. So those who eat too much, eat a lot, as well as those who starve with nothing, who don't get anything to eat or very little to eat, both fall sick. That is, if you eat too much, you become sick, and if you do not eat anything, then also you become sick. In other words, those who have everything and those who don't have anything, both are unhappy in life, and they both have to face struggles in their life. It is no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated in the mean. So it is no mean happiness. The meaning of mean here is small. So it is not small happiness, it is not little happiness to be seated in the mean. Seated in the mean means placed in the middle. That is, neither having too much nor having too little. When you are in the middle, then you are satisfied. Superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer. That is, those who have too much will become old sooner, but those who have just enough will live longer. So superfluity, that is, those who have too much, they will soon have white hairs, means they will soon become old. And competency means when you are satisfied with whatever you have, then that person will live longer. Portia, good sentences and well pronounced. So Portia is impressed with what Nerissa says, and she praises her by saying that she has spoken good sentences. Pronounced means spoken. Nerissa, they would be better if well followed. So Nerissa says that it would be better that if Portia follows what she has said. Portia, if to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. So Portia here says that if to do good was as easy as to know what is good, then chapels would have been churches and poor men's cottages would have been the prince's royal palaces. That is, instead of just knowing what is good, if people started doing also good, then things would have been better. It is a good divine that follows his own instructions. It is a good divine. Divine means a holy person, somebody who preaches. So here Portia says that it is only a holy person who can follow his own instructions. He can tell people to do things, to do good things. At the same time, he follows what he preaches. That is, he also does good things for others. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. Here Portia says that it is easy to teach 20 people what good things were to be done than be one of the 20, than be one of those 20 to follow her own teaching. So it is easy to give advice to others, but it is very difficult to follow one's own advice. The brain may devise laws for the blood. Blood here, write the meaning, body. So the brain it plans, rules and laws for the body. It is the brain that controls our body. But a hot temper leaps over a cold degree. Hot temper means a hot-tempered person. Leaps here means disobeys, and cold degree means good laws. So here she's trying to say that if you are a hot-tempered person, then you will not obey the laws made for you by the brain. Such a hare is madness, the youth, to skip over the meshes of good counsel, the cripple. So here youth, that is a young person, has been compared to a hare. Hare is a rabbit-like animal. So just as a hare skips over, write the meaning of skip over, jump over. Meshes, the meaning of meshes is nets. So just as a hare jumps over the nets and escapes, in the same way youth, that is a young person, is also like a hare who jumps over the good counsel, the good advice given to him, and he considers that good advice to be the cripple, to be like a limping person, which is not of any use to him. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. And here Portia says that this reasoning, this kind of thinking, is not in the fashion. Fashion means type. It is not the type for her to choose a husband. This is not the way that she wants to choose a husband. Oh me, the word choose. And here she stresses on the word choose. I may neither choose whom I would nor refuse whom I dislike. So why does she stress on the word choose? Because I may neither choose whom I would means that she is not free to choose her own husband, the person whom she wants to marry. She is not free to choose that person, nor refuse whom I dislike. And at the same time, she does not have the freedom to refuse a person she dislikes. Supposing if a person comes and chooses the right casket, then Portia will have to marry that person, whether she likes him or not. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. So in this way, the will means the wishes, the desires of a living daughter was curbed. Curbed means controlled. Curbed means controlled. So in this way, the will, the wishes of a living daughter was controlled by the will, by the wishes of a dead father. That is, she was bound to the wishes of her dead father, and she did not want to go against her father's wishes. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse none? And here Portia shows her helplessness, and she asks Nerissa that is it not hard, that is it not difficult that I cannot choose one. One here means a husband, that she is not free to choose a husband on her own, nor refuse none. And at the same time, she can't refuse also anyone. That is, she can't refuse a person who wants to be her husband. So all these suitors were coming, whether she liked them or not. She had to allow all those suitors to take a chance. So this much for today, children. Revise what I have taught you today and go through the explanation again if you want.